to my YouTube channel. Today I want to move to the second part of my presentation on anxiety. If you've not watched the previous video, I request you to go back there and watch it, because that also serves as the foundation of what I'll be talking about today. I might not be able to go back into defining what anxiety is again, because I did that already in the previous video. So please go back there and watch it. And if you've not subscribed to this channel, also you can do that, and that will be helpful, because once I upload a video, you'll be able to be notified, and you'll know that there's a new video that is out there. Therefore, you'll be able to follow it. So before I talk about the types of anxiety that we have, I want just to do a recap, just to remind ourselves what we talked about. In defining anxiety, I think we said that anxiety can be both positive and negative, and that if our anxiety helps us to perform better or to work more diligently in our careers or in our education or in our social life, then that becomes a positive anxiety. But if it derails us, or maybe makes us unfunctional, or maybe that fear makes us not to perform our day-to-day activities, then that becomes a negative kind of anxiety. And I remember we concluded by reading some verses from the Bible, and if I remember well, most of those verses were talking about the outcome of a negative anxiety. That if we become anxious and the anxiety overcomes us, then we become unfunctional, and then we become non-performers. We'll not be able to perform as well as we would have performed if we had no anxiety. So today I want just to give you 3 verses also to begin with, and this one's actually points at the negative, the positive side of anxiety. How anxiety can be of benefiting to us, how it can actually propel us into succeeding in life, or even to overcome the challenges that we might be facing. The first verse or passage that I want to give you will be 2 Corinthians chapter 11, and that will be verse 26 to 29. I'll not read it because of time, but I'll just give a summary of what it says. In this passage, Paul, writing a letter to the church in Corinth, he talks about the challenges that he had passed through, and he said his life was not so easy. He was stressed, he was anxious because of many things. He felt hungry sometimes. He had a lot of enemies, and he had a lot of opposition, but he said he did not focus on those opposition. So instead of being fearful and afraid, he focused on his call. He focused on his mission, his goal. And therefore, instead of anxiety bringing him down, it helped him to function more diligently to accomplish his goal of ministry, the ministry that he was called to do. And then the second passage is from 1 Peter chapter 5, verse 6 to 8. In Peter, the Apostle Peter talks about anxiety, and he says we should not be anxious. We should not be anxious of the things that come on our way. He says instead, let us cast our anxiety to God. So when we feel anxious and pressed and fearful, he says, let us not focus on the anxiety, but instead let us cast our anxiety to God. So our anxiety should propel us into focusing more on God. And then the last one is Philippians chapter 4, verse 6 to 8. I think that's a very popular verse. I read that even in my last presentation. This one talks about prayer. It says when we are anxious, that anxiety should propel us, should make us to be prayerful. And therefore, this verses talks about turning anxiety into something good, something productive, something encouraging and helpful. Let me now move a step ahead and talk about different kinds of anxiety. I know we have more than 3. We'll get time to talk about them later on, but today I want just to touch on one, and this one is called separation anxiety disorder. What does that mean when somebody says, I have a separation anxiety disorder, or you are diagnosed of having this disorder? It means that this person is fearful, is anxious of getting separated from people who are very close to him or her, people who are attached to him or her. So the person is afraid and is fearful that he will or she will be separated from people who are very close to him or close to her. And it's not only people, it's only even places. For example, somebody is afraid that I'll be removed from this home, or I'll be removed from this job, I will be removed from this school. And therefore, if this person becomes so fearful and so anxious about being separated from people that he or she is attached to, or places that is attached to, and that fear affects him or her, affects his day-to-day activities, affects him from functioning properly, or affects his performance, or makes him not to sleep at night, to dream about that, and to be so fearful, then that is what is called separation anxiety disorder. And I'm not talking about just being attached to people in a normal way, because we are always attached to people who we are close to. We are attached to our homes, attached to our phones, attached to our television, attached to the things we have. But I'm talking about that excess, going beyond the normal, being attached to something in to the extent that you cannot function without that thing. You cannot work without that thing. That's the kind of anxiety I'm talking about. And therefore, such a person, you can imagine, cannot easily sell whatever they have. Even if a car gets old and you feel like this one is done, because of that attachment, this person cannot allow it to be sold. He cannot sell it. Or even a home, leave alone selling, this person also it will be so hard for this person to buy a new thing, because he wants to stick on the thing that is attached to. Imagine if this person is a parent. He cannot allow his or her child to get married or to marry, because he's attached to the child, and therefore he doesn't want to be separated from his or her own child. Imagine if he's somebody who has a job. He cannot move from one level of job or get promoted to a different level, because he's attached to that level. He's there and he wants to stay there. So this is the kind of disorder or anxiety disorder I'm talking about. And once a person is or a person has this disorder, sometimes this disorder intensifies and gets worse, to the extent that this person, because he fears that he will lose the person or the thing that is he or she is attached to. For example, if it's a person, if it's a parent and is attached to a child, he will always think about or fear that he might lose the child. Maybe the child would die, or maybe get an accident, or maybe get kidnapped. And therefore, always this person is worried about that. And you can imagine if it's a child that still goes to school, it will be so hard for this parent, because he just wants to put his eye on this this person that is attached to him or her. If it is this child will not be able even to go to socialize, because the parents always worried about what is happening to my child. Will he be kidnapped? Will he get an accident on the way or coming back, or on the way to the party, or when coming back? And therefore the person becomes so worried that he cannot do anything. He cannot even sleep at night, because he's just worried and thinking, he's afraid that something will happen to this person that I love most. You can imagine even if it's like a spouse. You'll not allow the other spouse even to go to work, because you're afraid, you are worried about him, you're over worrying about your spouse. He cannot be out of your eyes. You want to always have them. If it's our children, when time comes for them to go to college, it becomes a problem, because you don't want them to leave the house. When time comes for them to get married, you cannot allow that, because you want to have them. You just want to look at them and just have them wherever you are. And once this disorder intensifies, then the way I've said, this person will not be able to sleep well because the person is worried about the person they are attached to. This person will not be able to work well, because how will you work when the person that you attached to is not there? So he'll not be a good worker. This person will not get promoted at work. He or she might be promoted, but he'll say no, because he's attached to just that level of work that this person is at. And therefore, that is how serious this disorder is. It is a kind of disorder that a person is very afraid, is very worried, is really anxious about a thing or a person or a place that this person is attached to. And therefore, when somebody has this kind of anxiety, then what he will do is always just be at home. Will not be free to go and socialize outside. Will not be free to allow the people they like to go out or to meet friends. So it's so hard for this person to make new friends. It will be so hard for this person to buy a new car, a new home, because of that attachment. He doesn't want, or he doesn't want to be separated from the things that this person loves more, or the things that this person likes most. And therefore, the social life of this person will be affected. He will just want to be alone in the house. And if he goes out, wants to go out with the person that they are attached to. And even going out there, he goes worried because something might happen to this person. This person might die. This person might leave me. This person might be kidnapped. And therefore, the social life of this person will be affected. And secondly, education-wise, this person will not be able to progress in education because he doesn't want to be separated from the people he likes. So he wants just to be with them all the time. And therefore, if he gets an opportunity to go for further studies, he will not be able to go because of that worry, because of that fear, because of the anxiety that he has. He cannot separate himself from the things that he likes, the things that are attached to him or her. This person will not, let me repeat that, will not be able to get promotion at work. This person will not be able to try new things. This person will not be able to do anything new. What he will do or she will do is just do the same things every day and want to stay there. He doesn't want to move from there. He doesn't want to move because he fears separation. And actually it is said that even when she tries or he tries to sleep, he cannot sleep at night because of the worries. Worries about the people they are attached to. Even their dreams, they'll have nightmares, dreaming about somebody whom they love has passed away, or somebody has been kidnapped, or maybe his house has been sold off, or maybe his car has been sold off because of that attachment, and therefore this person will not be able to sleep well. And as this state progresses, then this person starts having even headaches and feeling pain. It affects the physical, because whatever happens in our minds also affects our bodies. So if this person is so fearful, so it creates, makes this person start having headaches every day. So someone develops what we call chronic headaches because of worrying and because of thinking, and not thinking about themselves, but thinking about other people that they're attached to. I think the important thing to underline in this kind of disorder is that these people are very worried about other people, the people they're attached to the extent of forgetting who they are. and therefore they'll be affected themselves. They'll not sleep well, they'll not eat well, they'll not enjoy anything. They won't go out for parties or something like that. They'll not make friends, they'll not get new things for themselves, because they're worried that I'll be separated from the things that I like most. I think that is a line to underline, that this kind of disorder is really focused on other people, the people that we are attached to. And I've said attachment is okay. We have people whom we are attached to. But what I'm talking about, this kind of anxiety, is not just being attached to our children, but is being over attached to our children. And I think if this is not managed, then we'll hear about suicides, we'll hear about people dying because they are separated from other people. You hear that people will not have good lives. People turn to be, or their lives turns around to the negative, turns around to doing things that are not good, because their hope and their focus is on people that they are attached to. So this is the first kind of anxiety disorder that I wanted to talk about today. And maybe you're there, you're saying, that is me. I have that kind of anxiety disorder. What should I do? I want to encourage you that we have people who can help you. You can get a counselor who can walk you through that and help you to overcome that. And also, you're not alone. Many people are undergoing through the same, but they are way out. So just stay put with me as we continue talking about different kinds of anxiety disorders. At the end of it all, we'll try to answer the question, what should I do? How should I overcome it? If I have it, how will I overcome it? So I want to stop there today and say that anxiety, separation anxiety disorder is a kind of disorder that makes us fear, afraid, or anxious about separating from people who we are closer to, people who we are attached to. So don't go away. Be ready to follow my next video, because I'll be going to the second type of anxiety disorder, and we'll learn through as we continue. We'll learn, both of us, and at the end of it all, look for ways of coming out of these disorders. So thank you so much for watching this video. If you've not subscribed yet, please go down there, subscribe, press the notification bell down there, and in case I make another video, you'll be able to be notified and you'll be able to follow up with the topics that we'll be discussing here. And also, if you have a question or anything that worries you, you can put it down there at the comment section, ask question, or maybe put an advice or anything that you want to put down there, and then I'll be able to go through it and see how we can help each other. Thank you for watching this video. See you in the next one. Bye-bye.